WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
You're building the empire,
and we'll help you protect it.
Because even the most powerful women
still have trust issues.
Whoa, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Oh my God, we are live.
We're here.
Yes, we are live in the studio.
Yes.
This is such an awesome opportunity.
Welcome
everybody to the live episode of Trust Issues. Yes. This is the podcast where money meets mindset, legal meets legacy, and power meets protection.
Yes.
I am one of your hosts, Erica Hall of EH Wealth Advisors, the Wealth Advisor, and I'm here with my girl.
Yes. Urenia Ricks Johnson for Ricks and Associates. I'm your estate planning and wealth attorney.
Yes.
And around here, we don't just talk about it. We are about building wealth, right? We show you how to protect your wealth, to build it, and we show you how to do those things.
Yeah. You've done an excellent job of building your wealth, right? You've been saving, you've been doing everything right. So we want to make sure that we are the dream team to show you how to protect it. Okay.
Yes. Because there's a lot of things out there. It's a lot of things that we experience in life. We have marriages, we have things that happen throughout the marriage, singleness.
Yeah.
But we have things that people pass away, and we have different things that we have to deal with probate. I mean, we're just multifaceted. So this is a podcast where we try to touch on all those issues to make sure that your wealth is protected, and we show you how to build it.
Yeah.
And most of all, how to protect it.
Yeah. So our target audience is mostly established wealth building women, but guys, there's something on here for you too. But listen, we both
too, right?
we both have experienced. I'm experiencing singleness, and so we're coming from a very, very perspective.
Yes, and I'm experienced being married. I've been married for now 13 years, and children.
Yeah.
We both have children though, right? So we're trying to help them,
and grandchildren,
we're trying to leave a legacy, right? We're trying to make sure that we are showing individuals like ourselves on how to build wealth, but not just build it, but to protect it as well, right?
So tonight we're so excited because we're going live. We are live with our WVTC Detroit radio family, and we're so excited to bring our show from the YouTube to the airwaves today. So we are live, and you can ask your questions live. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to experience trust issues, right? As we talk about finance, life, and your spirituality. So you can get in here today and ask your questions. Nothing's off limit. Listen, I tell people all the time, if you don't want to point the finger at yourself, just say somebody I know. Somebody I know is experiencing. My friend,
anonymous.
It could be. The question for them, right? Ask the question for them, because before we got on the show today, we were talking about people we know who have experienced some of the things that we've been talking about. So we're going to review some of our opening shows. Secure the Bag series was the hottest open that I've ever seen. And I'm not biased just because it was ours.
Right. Because sometimes people are just afraid to ask certain questions, but they've experienced things. And we know when people experience things, a lot of times they have questions about it, or there's these myths out there. And I've been all about, in my practice, dispelling a lot of myths, because there are a lot of things out there that people have heard word on the street, right?
Come on now.
But it's not really reality. It's not really what is happening. So this is opportunity for you to get, now you can get free legal information. This is not a binding legal advice. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're gonna get
we call it insight.
Insight information from an attorney.
Yeah,
and but of course you can retain me. I work at Ricks and Associates PLLC in West Bloomfield, Michigan, so you can retain me. But and you can also retain the services of our wealth advisor Erica Hall as well.
Yeah,
so we can definitely be retained. But we are hoping that this podcast will just give you information and insight so you can make better decisions in life.
Yeah, I like what you said there about debunking some myths. So one of my I used to say it was my pet peeve, but it has become my life's mission to dispel or educate people against the hookups. I don't want her to get my social security if you know, and all that kind of stuff, or I don't want him to get my social security and you have no say so. If y'all been married for 10 years, all they do is get your calculation. If your calculation is better than their calculation, I like to bring that education so it's not just word on a street, but that you're making some sound financial decisions, especially when we talked about some of the folks that we addressed in our first episode. You remember the first episode we did?
I do.
The Forever Girlfriend.
And you know, and I think that was out of our experiences as well. You know, I sometimes I feel really, really bad for the clients that I service because a lot of them are in this situation or they come to us afterwards. And, you know, my motto is always, it's better to be proactive than to be reactional. But most of the time, 90% of my clients are reactional, right?
Yeah.
Something happens and now you're trying to scramble to try to figure out what's next. What can I do? And we're also hoping that this podcast helps people to be more proactive to make sure that they secure the bag, right?
Yeah, secure the bag. I know that's a funny idiom, but I like it because it says that you're putting security in place. Like we talked about, I mean, we've heard some horror stories. The Forever Girlfriend story came from some actual clients, right?
Ours, yeah, it's like a combination of the clients that we've experienced, right?
I've even had, I think I talked about the young lady who got a lawsuit, won a lawsuit, or hit the lottery. I can't remember exactly where she got
some money.
Yeah, she had a windfall, but she was under 18 when she got it, and so her parents. And one of them was a step parent, bought a house with the money, and then they lost the house. Yeah, they ended up losing the house or something like that. And so, like, when they asked the question about what can I do, but now she's like 30 years old, right?
And now she's trying to do something.
What can I get that house back? And so, you know, she just didn't have anyone in her corner. And so I want to make sure that we make ourselves available. You know, you can retain, but how about building a dream team, right? Building a team of advisors who can help you along the way. Because I say if you have advisors in your corner, then you don't have to scramble when situations happen. You already know who you're gonna call, right?
That's right.
Speed dial. Yeah, I was meeting with someone today, and they were just this was a young lady. This was her first time talking with a financial advisor.
Okay.
You don't know what to expect, and you don't know what is due to you as a client, as an investor. And so I really try to educate you as to what you get in the relationship. It's not just when you have investment questions. You may have questions throughout the year. I build relationships with my clients where my network is their network. So I don't do roofs. I don't even do mortgages, but they know that I know someone who does.
Right.
Yeah.
And your word sometimes is bond. When you have somebody trusted, you depend upon them for just about anything, any services that you're looking for, because you know you can trust their word. You can trust that referral, and that goes a long way. And same thing with my network. A lot of times they'll say my attorney referred me, and they understand that it goes a long way because I try to vet. I try to provide information to the people that I am referring to, that, hey, you know, if I'm referring people to you, I want to make sure that you're doing right by them. I want to make sure that you're taking care of them. And I want to make sure that you are providing the quality of services that I would provide.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to hold each other accountable.
We are. We are.
Right?
We
Like,
are.
hey, did you call so and so that I referred to you?
Right.
And how wonderful would it be to have all of your advisors talking to each other, sitting at the table, working on your stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Can I get
working
an amen?
Together. Amen. And
you deserve that.
You deserve
touch
to have
yourself,
everybody.
Touch your neighbor and say, I deserve that.
I deserve that. I deserve it, right?
Yeah.
Right. I deserve that. And that's when we talk about quality of service, because then you are put at the forefront of that relationship.
You are,
because of that, the quality that, that importance that you put in that relationship, and that is something that I feel like you said,
I deserve it.
Yeah. I need to have it.
I want my accountant talking to my attorney, to my financial advisor, to my banker. If I have you all at the table, then because I'm one person, and everything that pertains to my financial life is all of y'all.
That's right.
It's all of you all. And so I want to really forge this understanding that we as individuals, we need to build that dream team who works together on our financial issues, on our financial strategies. And I mean, if it's I'm starting a business, or I'm going to be acquiring some land, or whatever it may be, getting ready for retirement, when should I draw Social Security? Now, when I talk about retirement planning with clients, I want to speak with their accountant. I want to, because I want to see where before. Now I can run the numbers and say, when is the most opportune time for you to draw Social Security? And although folks, here's another myth.
What?
They just automatically assume that at 62, you're supposed to get your Social Security.
That is a myth. And most of the time people feel like, okay, I'm making the 62. I got it. I know I got something coming. Right.
Yeah.
And then they planned for that, and not knowing what is the myth connected to that.
Exactly. And the myth is that just because I retired from my employment, that now I have to, now my next call is Social Security.
Right.
And sometimes after you done pulled the trigger, it might be too late. And then I have to tell you, well, because 62 is not your full retirement age, this year you can't earn over $23,000.
Right. And so what if you're still working, right?
Yeah.
Or what if you get that opportunity?
Yes.
You get the opportunity to work and to actually start building more wealth.
Yeah.
And now you have pulled that trigger on Social Security.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that they can go back and say, okay, now I don't want Social Security anymore. I'm making $100,000 a year. Can I go back and say, okay, Social Security, I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait till I'm 65 now.
No, you can't. You can't go back. But if you talk with your team, we look at your taxes and look at your filing. So in addition to running the numbers to say 62 is when you're eligible, but let me tell you, at 62, you're taking a permanently reduced benefit at 62, right? But if you wait till your full retirement age might be 66 or 67.
And so it may not be 65
months. Right. It might not be 65, but we run those calculations. But why is that important? Because at your full retirement age, you can earn as much as you want. You can earn more than the maximum. This year is 23,000 and some odd dollars, and it goes up a little bit with the cost of living adjustment each year. But if you go over that amount with your earned income, then you're penalized. You're taxed for every $2 over that amount. You pay $1.
And so
50%.
That would not be a wealth builder. That would be a wealth buster.
Yes. It would. So first of all, I have to dispel the myth.
Yes.
Right. We gotta and then overcome, because you know why? Because from day one, when we became familiar with Social Security, we said to ourselves, okay, at least I can bank on that when I retire.
Okay.
Right. At least I can bank on that. But have you seen these 62-year-olds?
They not like the 62-year-olds.
Back in the day.
It's the new 42.
Come on now.
It's the new 42, right?
You're not getting ready to go sit home and knit and rock in no chair. You may want to take a break. for a year, and then you may want to go do something else.
Or do something that you sometimes it's doing the things that you love to do, because I think the age when people are turning 62, a lot of times they may feel like they have not been fulfilled in the things that they've had to do, things that they've had to do in order to make money, right? And then so now you're at the retirement age. Now you can start doing some things that maybe that you love to do.
Yeah, but retirement means something different for everyone. Now I understand that retirement may mean that you no longer want to do what you've done for the past 20 years.
Okay.
Right?
Makes sense.
And because you've been working for 20 or 30 years, you may want to take a break. But then after that break, typically, you want to do something else. And here's the other thing. Because you have worked that job or in that industry for 30 years, you are an expert. You have some information and some training and some highly sought after skills that people will pay nicely for after you retire from
your. May be a consultant.
You may be a 1099 opportunity contract.
That's what you call it. Okay, all right.
And who wants to say, well, you know what, and you don't want to get paid under the table? We're not even considering that.
We're not condoning that. We're not endorsing that at all.
No. But what you may want to do is build a contractual agreement with different companies and consult. And you can name your price, minimum $45,000, $50,000, $60,000 contract. And guess what? That will all be penalized if you pulled Social Security before full retirement age.
And that's why we understand that a lot of times people perish because of, the Bible is clear, but because of lack of knowledge, and they don't know, and they end up, instead of, like we were talking about, instead of it building wealth, it actually hinders them and hinders their wealth process.
Yeah.
And enable for them to enjoy those years.
Yeah.
Because they're having to worry about now financially, because we know even though you're building toward or working towards Social Security with the cost of living, Social Security is not something that's going to help overall to live a great lifestyle. I mean, you may be able to maintain, but if you want to actually thrive during those years, Social Security that's not it.
Yeah, you want to know all your options, right? And so I just like my point. I'm on my soapbox. My point.
Tell us what we need to do.
Okay. Plan with your team. Plan with your team. Because what I'm saying is, you have until you're eligible at 62, but until full retirement age, you could pull it at 63 or 64 or 65 or 66, or you get my point. And every year that you wait, there is an 8% increase in the amount of your benefit, right? An 8% as opposed to that that permanently reduced benefit. You get an 8% increase in the calculation every year. And if you were married for over 10 years and you qualify for a spousal benefit, maybe you can draw your spousal benefit before you pull yours. So there are just so many
many nuances to that. Yeah.
So many options. And so my point is, I want us to be educated. Us to be educated and not just do the word on the street type of thing, because we can do some sophisticated planning. You can have a financial advisor and an estate planning attorney and an accountant and a banker and a you can have a team, a financial team.
You can. That's looking out for your overall, everything that concerns you concerns the team.
Yeah.
Right? You can have that team.
And we will work together on your behalf.
And that's what,
because it makes us sharper.
It does.
Yeah, having all these different kind of cases to talk about on
it helps
on
us
podcast.
To build each other. Yeah, definitely. It definitely helps with that. And we can definitely do that. And I want to go back to when you said that one of your clients ended up receiving money when they were less than 18.
Right.
One of those things that we try to help people to do is plan, if you have children or individuals that are under 18, but you would want them to receive something if something happens to you.
Yeah.
Understanding that if you don't have anything lined up with that, then you leave it up to the court to decide that. Decide
Yeah.
who is over the money, who takes care of it, and that can be sometimes can be detrimental to what happens with those funds. You know,
Yeah.
it can either go one way or the other. Sometimes it can be a benefit to that child, or it could be a hindrance to that child because it could be spent the wrong way. The child could never even know that they are scheduled to receive it, right? But if we plan it out, if you plan it out accordingly, you know, and just understanding that even if you are married, you still need those provisions, because I have clients where one spouse passes away and the spouse left money to the child.
Mm-hmm.
Child is not 18. Guess what has to happen? The spouse has to go to court in order to get the authority to even though that they're the father or the mother, they still have to go to court and get the authority, as opposed to if you had a trust, that would have been already taken care of. The trustee would have just stepped into place at that time.
Right.
And did that. So, you know, having effectively planning helps you now and in the long run. That's the reason why those documents are so important, because you never know. We know where we've been, but we don't know where we're going, right? We don't know what's next, and we want to make sure we have the proper documents in place.
You know what? I think what happens is we do stuff based on emotions. You bring up a good point. You know, as women, as spouses, husbands, picking and choosing between our spouses and our children, who gets the priority, who do we focus on? You made me think about a story I just read on Bravo.
Okay.
And according to Bravo, I don't know if I shared it with you. It's about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Candy. How she did she talked about how you know, she had premarital assets.
Okay.
And I don't know how old her children are right now, because I'm not that involved, but I just happened upon the story, and it caught my attention because the headline caught my attention because she said that she when she married her husband, she told him that everything she had was going to her children, and that from the point that they got together and whatever they built since the time they got together, he would be on that. So he's not on the house. That all goes to her children, and I do believe one of her, I don't know how old her children are, but I do believe that at least one of them is not a minor; it's an adult.
Right.
So
she may have them as being the trustee over, if she has it in a trust. I mean, and that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon for, and like I said, it depends upon the relationship. And I think that it should depend upon the relationship, because you know exactly where you're coming from. And hopefully they had this conversation prior to that. Hey, you know, I don't mind coming, because, you know, evidently this was later in life.
Right.
And she had built some things, and you know, she wanted to make sure that her children were secure. And maybe she felt like she didn't want the children to have to go to him in order to receive what she
because you said
right?
other people act different after.
At funerals and weddings, people act different. That's most times that's when emotions are high.
I know. Right? And I think that, so the headline was that the headline is what messed it up and gets people all into their emotions, and said that she's choosing her children over him. And that's not the case. I know that's a sexy headline. I know that's gonna get people to read the story, and that's what they're going after. But don't be drawn in by that. Don't be fooled.
Yeah,
that is prudent planning.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Is prudent
and everybody
planning.
Comes in with a different mindset, different goals.
Yeah.
And you never know. And then we're not seeing what he has.
Yeah.
We're seeing what she has based on, you know, but we don't know if he has kids, and maybe he has the same hookup, but because she's a celebrity,
right,
it's in the headline.
It's in the headline.
You know, so they may
her
have
children.
They may have a thing where he has children and he has the same thing kind of set up, and basically saying, when we come into this relationship, we're building from this point.
Yeah.
And we're building together. So whatever we accomplish together,
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely entitled. If we're together for 50 years, we get 50, the 50 years that we've built together.
Right.
But I don't want to necessarily have my children trying to figure out where they fit in it.
No. And this is like just the opposite of the forever girlfriend, right? So we want to make sure that now this is where my knowledge stops, because I don't really know too much more about them or their situation.
Okay.
But it caught my attention
we only got a little bit of it, but it's okay.
But I mean, it's good enough to show the scenario of with the forever girlfriend. So let's talk about the forever girlfriend. So with the forever girlfriend, I had a client who yes, I had a client whose boyfriend, they were living together for 20 years. I think about 20 years. And I met her about 5 years into, he was sick into the relationship. I mean, 5 years, 15 years into the relationship, he had gotten sick. She had taken care of him. And 5 years after we started working together, he had passed away, and he left her like maybe about, I don't know, maybe $50,000 in a life insurance policy or something like that. So
he did leave her something.
He left her something.
Okay.
But she had 30 days to get out of the house that they had lived in for that whole time that she moved in with him. And his children were adults, and so the adult children.
So they didn't remember him taking care of him. They didn't remember that, huh?
I'm sure they were quite thankful. That's why they let her stay there for 30 days.
Oh, you think the 30 days was compensation?
I don't think so, but I'm saying they probably thought
it's a minimum by law.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, we following a law to a T. We you 45 days.
The law say you can't put 30 days. But I felt so bad, so bad for her. So I think in both of these scenarios, you don't want to disinherit your family. You don't want to disinherit previous, children from a previous marriage, because someone like myself, I've been married. I was married for 23 years. I have 3 beautiful children, 4 beautiful grandchildren. Both my older children are married. And I have a beautiful, beautiful family. However, in addition, if I choose to move on, I don't want to disinherit. My children they asked the question. I think part of the reason they don't want me to date is because they want to make sure that they're not being disinherited by my next relationship. And so that can be handled. That can be taken care of, right?
Yes. And, in my situation, I married my husband when he has 2 daughters. Before we got married, but our trust is still joint because of the relationship that I've established with my daughters. They're my daughters. So I treat them just like I treat my son. So but that took time and trust, right?
Yeah,
but once we had trust issues initially, because it was the I call it the growing pains period, because we went through some growing pains, with becoming together a family, right? But that's when we got to that point, then it was no issue with our estate plan as far as with dividing things, having if something, God forbid, happens to my husband, for me to be the trustee and to make sure that the kids, all 3 of them, are taken care of, as opposed to
praise God.
And then me vice versa, feeling like, if something happens to me, that what I've built, I don't have a problem with it being split between the 3 children. Because of the fact of I feel like that we are a family unit. But you have to understand your dynamic, right? And if it's not like that, you want to make sure that you have the proper. If it is like that, you want to make sure you have the proper paperwork. If it isn't like that, you want to have the proper paperwork.
Right.
So anyway it goes, you need to have the proper paperwork.
You can customize it based on how your situation is. Okay, so we got a question. You guys got questions out there?
Come on.
Do I spend my whole life making sure everyone is taken care of and I not live? That's the question. That's the question.
Well, we're not saying that you have to leave the whole everything. You have to still be wise in the fact of not leave it at all where you don't feel like you've enjoyed the quality of life.
Oh, yes.
Right? So definitely we're not saying that, but we're saying that if you are leaving an inheritance, you want to make sure that it's clear.
Definitely. Listen, enjoy life.
Yes.
Enjoy life. What happens when we live is we accumulate assets. If you have what'd you say? $1?
If you have $1, you have an estate, right? And there's millions of $1 bills with the state of Michigan. We live here in Michigan. And within every state that you live in, there's, and I don't care if it's $1, I don't want to go to the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Right.
Unclaimed
so we have
property.
to figure out unclaimed property. So we have to figure out how to designate that based on what we know we have and making sure that it gets to the proper places. So that's the reason why estate planning is important. It's not to say that I'm just going to build it up and not spend anything and make sure that my family gets everything. No, that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is just to make sure that it's designated so it does not go to the right so it doesn't go to the wrong party.
Yeah. And then you don't want a judge trying to figure out what
your dynamic,
what you wanted. Now, I want to go back to his question because the quality of life is paramount. It's so great. It's so great to consider the quality of life. And so let's put things in order, right? You go through these different stages in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. In planning, we call those you go from the building accumulation stage, where you're not looking to spend a whole lot on the protection, because you're building. And so most of your resources go to building, investing and building. And so you may have like a term policy. You may, if you're the primary breadwinner, or if you're the resources for the family, then you are enjoying your life. Sir, the one who asked the question, Mr. Larry, hey, you're enjoying your life, you're providing. But as you start changing and going through the stage of going into distribution stage, now that you're living off of what you save, you go into more of a protection mode, right? Early on, the protection is for the young children, for a spouse, if whoever would miss your income, if you have a mortgage, so you could pay off the mortgage. If you have large amount of debt, you want to make sure that you don't leave your loved ones destitute, so they at least can maintain the same lifestyle. And so you can cover that with a term, with a low cost term policy. But as you go through the next stage of life, now it's more of the estate planning, where your resources are now focused on protecting those assets and that wealth that you've accumulated, and even the proper transfer of it. And so you don't have to put all your resources into saving it for the next generation, but there are proper steps to building and we're going to talk about that in a couple weeks about how do you build the bag,
how you build it. How do you initially build a bag, and we're going to talk about just how do you get a bag. That is, because a lot of times I think we assume, because people have one area of practice that I also practice is bankruptcy. And I know a lot of times people hit a rough spot. The economy goes up and down. People experience fluctuations in their income and things happen, right? And we're going to go over what bankruptcy is and how you can rebuild from there, and how it's not a stain that you can't overcome and actually still build wealth.
Oh, definitely.
Right. So
sometimes that's what happens when you take risks.
Yeah. And sometimes you have different roadblocks, you have different things that happen, but you have to understand that there are ways that you can build from there. There's a ways for there that you can still build during that time and still understand that you can secure the bag even when you're going through rough times.
I like that. I like that. Securing the bag. So how about when we talked about when this is your second marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about being the girlfriend, but now you're married.
Okay.
And you're married, maybe your first marriage or your second marriage or his second marriage, and you find out that you're not the beneficiary, that it's his first wife.
Right. It's the first wife on there.
Or
wow.
his mama.
Or mama, right? Oh wait.
Or his sister.
But listen, it still puts you in a better position than the girlfriend.
How so?
Because you have a legal contract.
Okay.
You have, and one thing in the law that's marriage certificate is a legal binding contract that binds you by law to your
marriage
spouse.
certificate.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means something.
Yeah.
That means something in the court of law.
Amen.
So when you go and challenge that, so the not the girlfriend, but the wife has legal standing to challenge any document where she's not listed as a beneficiary. Why? Because the assumption is that the wife is the automatic beneficiary of everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's otherwise stated, right?
Yeah.
And so if there are documents that are conflicting with that, she does have standing in order to challenge those things.
Yes, yes. And
So
this goes for you too, sir. I just want
Yes. So this
I just want to let you know
any spouse. If you are divorced, or if the spouse has passed away, and sometimes you even have people coming out the woodwork from their estate and saying, well, no.
Come. Yeah.
I'm entitled to this because my mom was left as beneficiary on this, and she's passed away now, and it should go to the estate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, challenging those things as well, but making sure. That's the reason why we have contingent beneficiaries.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we have those things in place that we can help to protect and defend against those things.
That's good. That's good. So listen, we're talking about what we said, power meets protection, the money mindset, and where legacy meets legal. I saw this quote, and I'm taking it like I wrote it, and it said, I love it, and it says that a legacy is our imprint on the future. Our legacy, right? We think about legacy being something behind us, right? But we can build a legacy for the future today by design, or by default.
And most people, it's by default. So if we can help somebody to build it by design,
I want mine to be by design.
If we can help and build it by design, then you could, and then by design, it could be to your specifications.
Yeah.
It could be to your liking. You can make sure that your voice, your imprint goes from generation to generation. And that's why when we hear people talking about trust funds they're living off of, or things that they have experienced that they were given some type of advantage in, all that was because someone thought about their legacy.
Yeah. With that being said, so I want to do something. I want to do it right here. We talked about it. We want to do something special for all of you who put some comments in the chat today. If you leave a comment, we want to offer you a special gift today, and that is a Legacy by Design workbook.
Yeah.
And we put together this free gift so that you can begin to have some real conversation with your family about what your family values are, what's important, how do you want to design your legacy. They talk about mama used to say this, and mama didn't play, and how mama just want us to get together, and all those things. Though that's definitely her personality legacy, but the legacy that imprint that you can leave on the future. We want our children to be close. We want them to always be there for one another. We want them to be able to work together. But one of the best things that we can do is put stuff in writing.
Mm-hmm. And then have that conversation with them.
Have that conversation.
Have the conversation. It's time out for just you left everything in the shoebox and then you just tell them just check the shoebox. Right? And it's under the bed to the left. And they just know where it's at, as opposed to having that conversation. You know, your plan can be as detailed as possible.
So detailed
instead
that
of
you
just
can write
making those things taboo.
On obituary. Yeah, you're on them.
You can.
Obituary.
From who you want to sing, what songs you want. Who do you you can even say, who you want to have words. All of those things.
Yeah.
We all know, we all have lost loved ones, and we know how it can be at that time. It could be a very stressful time. It could be a time of very all things are on 10. Right?
Yeah. This makes me
you try to figure things out.
Yeah. This made me think about how when I was married, my husband and I would always blame each other. Well, my husband say, just say I did it. And I say and I say, just say I said it, and that we got to be each other's scapegoat. So the reason that it made me think about that is because when you put something in writing, the trustee, the successor trustee, or the executor, or whomever you designate who has to carry out your wishes, all they have to say, well, this is what she wrote. I'm following her or his.
Right.
I didn't look. Hey, take it up with them. I'm just doing what Daddy wanted me to do.
And I have to follow.
Yeah.
What they said.
Yep. And they can't be mad at the person that you left in charge. And if they mad at you, they gonna get over it. They get over it.
Take it up with the
Lord.
What they gonna do?
Take it up with the Lord.
What they gonna do?
Holy Spirit.
Yes.
That's what they'll say. And so if you want to cover your loved ones, if you love me, cover me.
Cover me. Amen.
Cover me.
Amen.
Ma'am, sir.
Yes.
Cover your loved ones.
Cover them.
Yeah.
And let them know how important they are.
Yeah.
And you let them know how important they are by leaving them a plan and leaving them a legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because MetLife, Lincoln Life, Mutual, they're not calling to notify your family that they're a beneficiary on the policy.
They don't do that. So they'll call out. They don't call and say, did you know?
No, your family's supposed to know. Your beneficiaries are supposed to know.
Right. So if they don't know, that's the reason why there's millions of $1 bills
and unclaimed property. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell them how much. You don't have to tell them how much. You can just let them know that this is where you go. If anything, this is where you go, and have those documents that say this is where the policy is. This is where you call. So that they can call them and follow up and get the information. Because here's the thing, there can be 3 beneficiaries, and if only 2 people call, they're only going to get told what their portion is. They're only going to disclose.
So they're not going to tell them that there's another person out there that they can contact to get their portion.
Not that they won't even disclose the name.
Yeah. Because it's a privacy issue.
So it's up to us. That means it's up to us.
It is.
And if I can help somebody today
on the way,
if I can help somebody to get out of this taboo, I can say I don't know what it is, where it comes from, but it's just prevalent. In families, not to disclose, not to share detailed information. Get out my business. I'm not talking to you about my money, where it's at, or properties held and all that kind of stuff. Because if they know how much you have,
something gonna happen.
Everybody want to borrow money,
right? Or they want to borrow something. Yeah. So we have to dispel those myths, and we have to have those conversations.
Yeah,
because like I said, there's a lot of, you could be an heir and don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, the Bible talks about if you know, how we can be heirs and heirs no greater than a servant if you don't know, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, you could, all this time, you could be out here thinking that, you know, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
And you have something.
You do. You do, because a good man leaves an inheritance.
Children's
Well,
children.
yes, for
Yeah.
generations, to his children's children. And
Mhm.
so let's be good servants, good people,
Yes.
and let's plan and make sure we share that information.
Let's share it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we hope that you have enjoyed our live, and hope that you will check out our podcast. If you have not checked out our podcast, make sure that you tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. We are, our podcast will be aired, and then every fourth Thursday, we will be here live. So check us out.
So if you post your questions,
Mhm.
you post your comments, we will be sure to respond. Again, they can be anonymous. Our goal is to make sure that we help you overcome these trust issues,
Mhm.
because the trust issues are the things that can hold us back. They hold us back from being wealthy. And listen, wealthy isn't just about things. It's access, it's information, it's influence, it's sharing our resources. That's why we keep pushing the dream team, right? This is my attorney, but she's also my children's attorney.
That's right.
She's also my mom's attorney.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
If
And this
I
is my
have
advisor.
yes,
my
if
family's advisor right here.
If I have something, you have it too, because you're connected to me.
That's right.
That is, you won't want or need your own, right? You won't have to go out and try to build your own relationships. Because they can help, they can get you jump started. At least you can leave that.
You can leave that legacy,
yes,
right? Right.
Yes.
But you have a dream team now, too.
Yes, yes, you have a dream team. And so will you come on, get your dream team together?
Yes, and we are definitely willing to help and assist. And we hope that you have gained some knowledge. We hope that you have gained some information and education, because that's what we're about. We're about providing that information so you can make the best decision concerning your future and concerning right now what you need to do to make sure you get things in order.
Yeah, we giving it away. Information,
we
that
give
is.
Information, yes.
So be sure to check us out. Trustissues.live is the website. Trust Issues Podcast with Erica and Urenia. I am one of your hosts, Erica Hall with EH Wealth Advisors.
And I am Urenia Ricks Johnson with Ricks & Associates PLLC. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Till next time. Be blessed.
Be blessed.
Get ready, Detroit, because we're about to do it again. The GMWA Detroit chapter presents Women Impacting the World 2025. Join us for an unforgettable concert experience featuring Powerhouse 100-voice women's choir under the direction of Evangelist Sandra Rose, along with Sheila Oden, Sherry Watson Robinson, and Teresa Youngblood. It's all happening Sunday, October 19th at 4 p.m. at Kadesh Baptist Church, 20361 Plymouth Road, Detroit. And that's not all. We're honoring two of Detroit's finest women, Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Nelson and Miss Linda Swanson, plus a special tribute to our GMWA Detroit Legacy member. And get ready, y'all, because this year's special guest is the incomparable Oh yeah, this is one concert you don't want to miss. Admission is absolutely free. Free will offerings will be collected. For more information, visit gmwadetroit.org. Be there and witness women impacting the world.
Listen, I'm here at Elmar's Furs. I need you to understand, if you can't get in the store, you can always shop online. And when you shop online, you want to make sure that you follow him on social media, on all social media. And if you're looking for the website, it's elmarfurs.com. Listen, Instagram, Facebook, we're looking for you. He's got sales, and he's got a payment option for you that's going to meet your very need. It's going to benefit you because you'll get in on the sales. So listen, make sure you come or visit us online, elmarfurs.com.
Hey y'all, what's up? This your girl Coco. I need y'all to check out WVTC Radio Detroit. Yes, WVTC. Say it with me. WVTC Radio Detroit.
Somehow, Lord, I've got to make
Detroit, the birthplace of soul, the heartbeat of gospel music. But our gospel music legacy is at risk of fading into obscurity. The Detroit Gospel Music Legacy Foundation is on a mission to preserve our history, to ensure that the voices of our pastors, the harmonies of our choirs, quartets, and soloists live on for generations to come. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. If you have Detroit church archives, obituaries, concert souvenir booklets, gospel LPs, radio shows, cassettes, or sheet music, don't let them vanish. We'll digitize and preserve these treasures at no cost to you, and we'll return them to you, keeping our promise to honor our history. Reach out to us at DetroitGospelMusicLegacy@gmail.com and start your donation process. Together, let's ensure that the soul of Detroit lives on. Donate your gently used items to the Detroit Gospel Music Legacy Foundation today.
This is WVTC Detroit, your award-winning gospel internet radio station. We're bringing you the best in gospel music, live shows, and inspiring interviews. Like and share our page on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay connected. Your support helps us spread positivity and encouragement throughout the community. So whether you download our WVTC app, visit our website at WVTCDetroit.com, or join us on Facebook or YouTube, you will stay connected and entertained. Join our WVTC Detroit listener family today and tell your friends about us. Together, we can make a difference. WVTC Detroit, where gospel meets the community. Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.